and over and over again. And speaking of which, you really don't want teams like this going on and winning multiple years. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Chiefs, and dive into our schedule predictions. So week 1, boys. Ben, I'll start with you. What do you think is going to happen with this one?
Yes, before we get started, Matt, you want to kind of go over a little bit of this deep dive for us?
I
Oh
will,
yes,
yes.
again, dude, forgetting. I'm so sorry.
We're going to get it. All right? We got
Yes.
32 of these. All right? We're going to
Yeah.
get it. No, but yeah, the Chiefs last year, very, very polarizing football team. They went 15-2 last year, and that just went over my head because of what happened in the Super Bowl. They lost 2 games with Mahomes at quarterback last year, and one of them was the Eagles trouncing. Uh, their offensive EPA per play, they were ninth with a .071. Their pass block and run block were both in the top 10 top 10 percentage in the NFL. Their EPA per play on defense was 15th, just above the Raiders, ironically enough. So from an efficiency metric, if you told me the 15-2 Chiefs were the same as the 4-13, 5-12, I can't remember their record, the Raiders, even though we just talked about them. But if you told me those defenses were on par in an efficiency metric, I would have called you nuts. Both pass rush win rate and run stop win rate were kind of in the, a little below half, 19th in pass rush, 21st in run stop. Mahomes had a pretty average season by his standards. He was 10th in EPA per play as a quarterback, and he was, 51% success rate, which was also 10th. And then their offseason, pretty standard. They traded Joe Tooney so they could franchise tag Trey Smith. So Trey Smith still has not had a long-term extension yet. Joe Tooney did with the Bears. So I expect Trey Smith to get something done within the next few months. I expect Trent McDuffie to be on the block. I expect George Karlaftis to come up soon. But they also brought back Nick Bolton, Hollywood Brown, Charles Omenihu, Hook'em Horns. And then in free agency, they did some, little marginal Super Bowl signings. They signed Jalen Moore, 2 years, $30 million. I still can't believe that one, and that was the first move reported. The backup Niners tackle goes for $15 million. Christian Fulton, 2 years, $20 million. And then Jerry Tillery, he was really the only other notable one of additions through free agency. And then their draft, I thought they got the steal of the first round with Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. At pick 32, Omar Norman Lott, interior rusher out of Tennessee, whatever you want to call him, Ashton Gillett from Louisville. I forgot I blanked for a second. And then Noah Williams in the 3rd round. And then like I said, I'm not going to do this for every team, but they got Jalen Rose in the 4th, and he was one of my favorite players in the entire class, so I just want to mention him. And then departures. Of course, I mentioned Tooney. That's Joe Tooney for the Chiefs last year played almost 1,300 snaps for them, and almost 400 of them at left tackle. Tershawn Wharton, a designated pass rusher, he leaves with 780 snaps, 42 pressures. How do they replace that? Justin Reed goes to my Saints, almost 1,200 snaps, and these are all kind of inflated. They had a deep playoff run. But DeAndre Hopkins, he leaves 405 snaps, and then Justin Watson, ironically enough, he had 709 snaps for this football team. So how did they replace that? Also, they brought back Juju and they brought back Kareem Hunt. Little marginal signings. I didn't really mention those. And then my last thing before we get to all of our predictions is my season outlook question for them. And I think it's pretty simple. Can left tackle finally be figured out for this team? Kansas City has finally reached the who cares status of the regular season. Who cares? If this team wins 10 games or they win 14 games, they're trying to win a Super Bowl. And they're 3-2 in Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes. And both losses, I should start with both wins, were kind of down to the wire finishes where he was the best player on the field. Both of their losses were outmatched blowouts due to fundamental disadvantage along the offensive line. They trade Tooney away, who is their most consistent piece. They are likely going to pay a younger player in Trey Smith who doesn't play left tackle or right tackle, a valuable position. And now they're depending on a backup in Jalen Moore to step up at left tackle. They're expecting a rookie, even if I like Simmons long term, he has knee issues. Can he start right away? It's very interesting and fascinating how they've tackled it. Are they gonna figure it out finally? Who knows? Because if they do, uh-oh for the league, but it might not matter because they have Patrick Mahomes. So
I think that really is that big question again, is what you're doing at left tackle. Does Josh Simmons come along faster than what you think he's going to come along this offseason with all the injuries he had, and is he going to be an impact starter right away? And if he is, well then again, like you said, you better watch out. And then it just comes down to do you have that confidence in Jalen Moore or not? He's only been a backup pretty much throughout this point in his career. And do you really trust him to block the blind side of the best quarterback in the league? So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start off with week 1. Ben, what do you think?
Brazil game.
Brazil, yes. Whoa, all of my stuff disappeared. I will have the Chargers winning that, or the Chiefs winning that. Sorry, all my notes.
Matt, what do you think?
Disappeared on me, guys.
I will have the Chiefs winning this game, starting 1-0.
I have them winning this game as well. So
Also, I think I mentioned this last time, but they have so many primetime games. They have so
oh, it's so ridiculous.
like
3, 4,
there's
5,
3
6,
teams,
7, 8
including
of
my
them.
team, have 0. They have the Brazil game technically, Sunday Night Football against the Giants, Monday Night Football against the Jags, Detroit, Washington, Thanksgiving against Dallas, the week after against Houston, and then Christmas. What the heck, man? Just float us one like Thursday night.
Yeah. Week 2 against Philly, I'm gonna have them lose that one. I will love that as well. They just got absolutely pummeled in the Super Bowl, and I don't think that they're gonna have a different result. Matt?
I think they're gonna beat Philly. I think it's a coin flip game. Who knows? Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, I tend to actually agree with you there, Matt. I think they're gonna have a lot of fire to be playing with, and I think they're gonna actually win this game.
And then next up against the Giants, I think we're all taking a win there, right? I would assume.
Yes.
I mean, what do the Giants have going for them? Week
Russ.
4 at home against Baltimore.
Jackson Favre.
That one's gonna be fun. I have them losing this game though. Matt?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a losing to my guy Lamar Jackson. Again, coin flip game. They beat him last year because of tippy toes, and I still remember that. Like, they were down by 7. The Ravens were. I have no doubt Harbaugh would have gone for 2 to just win it on the field.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like again, that's the definition of a coin flip.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
down to Isaiah Likely's feet being too big. So, Ben, what you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I'm gonna have them pick up their first loss of the season. I'm gonna have them lose to the Ravens here.
Week 5 against the Jags, I assume we're all winning that one, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Matt? Okay. Okay. Yeah, why is that one on Monday Night Football? I mean, just okay. Like at home against
funny.
Detroit, what are we thinking for that one? Matt?
I'll have them lose. I think
Yeah?
that's why not? Detroit just owns them. I don't know. What a
I agree. Ben, what do you think?
Wow, for all that talk, both you guys being the ones saying the Lions are gonna drop off this year, I have them winning. You guys. I think I was kind of the odd man out here, but I think over the course of the last couple of weeks, you guys have kind of convinced me a little bit on this Lions. I'm gonna have the Chiefs winning this one.
Ryan, can you believe he just you guys us?
You guys. Yeah. So then they're winning against Vegas. I think we all agreed there as well last week. Washington. What do we think, guys? I have them losing this one. You have them beating Washington. Okay. Ben?
Yeah, I have them beating Washington as well. Kind of the same conversation that we talked about there with the Lions. I expect a little bit of a little bit fall from grace. I still think the Commanders are going to be a playoff team. We'll get into them later on in the offseason. but I think they're going to drop a little bit from where they were at previously.
Okay. And then week 9 against Buffalo. What do you guys think? I have them losing this one. This one's in Buffalo.
It's the annual Josh Allen beats Mahomes in the regular season.
That's exactly what I
Ben,
was going to say. Yeah. It always happens. You know, the Bills always win, and then Bills fans are like, see, this is going to be our year. We can finally beat them in the playoffs, and then it never happens.
So going into the bye week, I have the Chiefs at 4-5.
Hater.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Matt, what do you have them at? Just out of curiosity.
I 6-3, and I feel too low. You're 2 games lower than me, man.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with that. And the only one that I really could feel like swayed on is the Detroit game. But even then, I have them under 500. So, you know, I'm sorry, not under 500. Just over 500.
Yeah.
Ben, what do you have, Matt?
High man on the Chiefs, 7-2.
Going into week 11 in Denver, I have them winning. Matt?
I had Denver winning this game last week, so I'm going to stick with it. I think Denver wins.
Ben?
Yeah. I think the Chiefs are going to win this one.
Okay. Week 12 at home against Indy, I have them winning this one as well.
Yeah, I have them
Matt?
winning. I have them
Ben?
winning.
Yes, yep, I have them winning.
And then Thanksgiving against Dallas, I have them just killing Dallas, unfortunately. But yeah. Matt?
I have them winning.
I have the Chiefs, you know, and not to jump the gun here a little bit, I actually have the Chiefs going on a little bit of a late season slide here, and I actually have them losing the next 3 games against, at the Cowboys and then Texans and Chargers. So I have them, going on a little bit of a slide here late in the season and actually losing the next 3.
I like it. I was going to say, because, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and move on. So Houston, I have them beating Houston. Matt, you as well?
Yeah.
And then against the Chargers, I have them losing to the Chargers. So splitting the season, with the Chargers as well. Matt, what do you think?
I think they beat the Chargers.
Okay. And then I have them beating Tennessee. Matt, I'm sure you have them beating Tennessee as well, right? Ben, right? I believe.
Yes. Yes.
And then I have them losing against Denver at home. Matt, you as well, I assume?
No, I have them winning on Christmas.
Oh, okay. Ben?
Yes, I have them beating the Broncos. I have them finishing the season at 12-5, which is good for them. Not quite 15-2, but still going to be competing for a top 2 or 3 seed there in the AFC. Still going to be a good year, and like Matt said, it really doesn't matter until the playoffs start for this team.
I have them beating Vegas to finish the year 10-7. Matt, what do you think?
What do I think of yours?
What do you think about the Chiefs?
No, I have them finishing 13-4. So I ended up being the high man. I think they're gonna come out of that bye, lose to Denver, and then not lose a game the rest of the year. They're gonna rattle off 7 in a row, finish 13-4. Yeah, I mean this team's gonna be competing for 1 seeds, whether we like it or not, because they have the best player in the sport. Just happens.